impressive performance all around. You started off with this very intriguing opening choice. How did you come up with the Kalashnikov?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things. First of all, you know, I'm just here to have fun, so why not play something to surprise my opponents? You know, I did it against Sam, against Leinier, felt the same way. Yeah, I mean, I've played every Sicilian under the sun against him. We've obviously played many times, but I just want to do something different. And he spent a lot of time, and I think in the one control format, it's very, very difficult if you get way down on the clock. And somewhere in the middle game, I felt good, but I lost the thread a little bit. I mean, the first thing is like, yeah, obviously if you go back here, I mean, again,
and this rook to b8 was very intriguing as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the Parham line. Max Sudlu plays this all the time.
Sudlu, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, knight d5 is the best move. Like, knight d5 takes a knight e7. But, I mean, the big thing here is that, of course, the computer doesn't even, okay, the weak engines don't even say what the best move is. Yeah,
G4?
I mean, of course, yeah, I mean, I don't play chess, so I can say this. But, yeah, g4 is obviously the best move, and it's very, very sharp, and nobody knows what's going on. But if you don't know that that's the move, it's almost impossible to play. And,
well, the Yasser actually guessed it. And he didn't have the engines.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to it's easy when you're not playing, because I mean, if Yasser is playing, he plays G4 and loses, everyone's going to pretty much tell him, like, you know, you say don't do this, don't do that, and you push a pawn, you lose like a clown, and you're just a total idiot. So I mean, it's much different because when you're not playing, like if you suggest a movement is bad, I mean, there's nothing can go wrong really. Yeah. But when you're in the moment playing, obviously it's very difficult. And I had a feeling that Leinier wasn't going to play it. I thought he would play G3, and I mean, I thought I should have been completely fine in this opening, but somewhere I lost the thread. Yeah, I thought
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry, I've done that. But yeah, like if you go back to around b4, around move 20, yeah, like keep going. Yeah, we castle. Yeah, somewhere around here, I thought I should be fine, but I lost the thread when I went knight c5. I don't know if b4 was better or.
B4 was one of the top moves, I think, and F5 as well. But
yeah,
B4
I mean,
was definitely
because basically what I decided was I just miscalculated this line with knight c5, queen e2. Queen c7, and I just completely underestimated b4 and b4 and rook a5. Sorry. And then, like, yeah, already here, I mean, probably for a computer it's still okay, but I didn't feel very good about it because I thought I had it all under control, and then I didn't. And
now
I mean,
you have to give up the bishop.
Then. Yeah, I take and then play knight f5, and I still wasn't so sure though. I played rook a7, which I thought was. I thought he could actually take the pawn too. I was a little surprised that he didn't do it because it looks kind of ugly after knight takes e3, f takes e3, but I'm not able to win back the pawn right away. And yeah, I can play like knight b6 or something, but if I'm not getting f5 and e4 in, like say just play knight b6, or okay, fine, whatever, just play knight b6, I don't know, some stupid move, king h1, f5, king g1, e4. Like if I get this, where the bishop on g2 is very bad, this should be very good for me. But the problem is I thought that in this line, instead of like king h1, of course, after knight b6, that white can go like e4 here at some point. Yes. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe this position doesn't work. But I thought, like, if I'm not getting f5, e4, I thought that white should just be up the pawn. I mean, okay, obviously here I guess it doesn't work. But
yeah.
But yeah, like I thought here that I was in trouble. Then he played rook a7, and I thought I was once again completely okay.
Rook to b7.
Just keep going, yeah.
Were you playing for an advantage right now? Or?
Well, see, here I thought I was completely fine, and then about 3 moves later, I thought I was suddenly in a lot of trouble.
Okay, this was the critical moment, though. You played knight f6, bishop g5, king to g7, and bishop to h3, and you spent quite a lot of time here, almost 20 minutes.
I can actually go king g5. Wow. I mean, I spent a lot of time because I saw knight e7. And knight e7 was what I wanted to do, but takes, and f4. And originally I thought I had queen a7, king h1, and queen d4, but this actually loses to queen f1, I believe.
Yes.
And then you take the check on e5, and the king is completely exposed. So this was the original idea. Then yeah, I kind of thought I could maybe take on f4, but it just, I don't know, it looks so ridiculous.
And now you go to g5.
And g4, king h6, queen f6, queen e3 or something?
Queen f6, queen e3, and yeah, you're actually winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, from a distance I saw that I could play this, but it looks so bad.
So this was your main line that you were calculating.
Yeah, I was calculating this for a long time, and then finally, when I just thought my king's too open, and I started looking at other lines, I came up with this knight d4 idea. I mean, initially, actually, I also thought after c3, I could play rook a3 here, but this actually loses, I think, because white can take and go queen e4. And if I take on c3, there's rook d4, rook c1, king g2 takes queen f4.
Now you have some knight b.
I have knight b3 here, which is okay. Yeah, I mean, this loses, of course, because rook c1.
Queen f4, yeah.
Actually, queen d4 first is better, but you can even take with check, and then check on e3 or f4. Yeah. But so knight b3. Okay, I mean, yeah. Again,
like
this is
alien chess. Yeah.
Yeah. So then what I thought was done. So then after c3, I came up with this other idea. I thought, well, now I can go knight c2, and put the knight on a3, and then put the knight on c4. This is actually what I thought. I mean, it looks kind of weird, but if I get the knight to c4, suddenly both of those knights are very well placed.
Yeah.
So this I thought was an idea, and I didn't see a way for white to win here. So I figured if it's not winning and Leinier being low on time, I can just kind of go and do whatever.
And probably the best for him would have been to go rook d to rook d1. And
yeah, but it's very hard to, because like you don't know, like should white be better? Should black be better? Like if the game goes on, who's better? It's not really clear with the bishops versus the knights. Yep. So I thought, yeah, queen f3 I think was a mistake. So after knight g8, I mean, white's probably still okay, but now I think it becomes very hard to play, because in the long term, the knight on g8 should be better than the bishop on g5. Yeah. And of course, I can always put the other knight on a3. So,
and very cool idea towards the end was this h5 move. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you have anything more to do, but finally, the
I mean, he kept defending ridiculously well. I was waiting for him to make a blunder, and then he kept playing good moves. And yeah, h5, I don't know if it's actually winning, but I mean, idea is...
It's the best move, I think. Yeah.
It is, okay. Well, I mean, it's also hard for me because I don't have moves. Like, originally I thought he had blundered rook a3. I thought rook a3, like queen c4 and some knight e5 or something is good. Yes. But of course, on rook a3, there's bishop c1 instead of queen c4, and now I think, if anything, white might be better.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you close the show quite nicely with this
checkmate
that you would probably see every Tuesday in your games.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if well, I guess queen g1's mate in one, but if I could get knight h5, knight g3, it'd be even better. But all right, it's too much.
You will be playing the winner of Fabi versus Wesley. How do you see that match play out, which is actually starting in just?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a coin flip. It just depends who gets a better position out of the opening, or who's up on time when they get into the scramble. I don't really see any big difference between either of them. I mean, Fabiano, I don't remember, was it this last U.S. Championship or the previous one? Fabiano won the last one, right? So it would have been 2 years ago that Wesley won in the tiebreaker. But I'm thinking of that tiebreaker, and I think Fabiano got a much better position, maybe even winning. Then, of course, got too low on time, messed it all up. Wesley ended up winning. So I think there's very little difference between them, and it doesn't really matter who I play.
Hikaru, thank you very much. Congratulations once again. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sure.
Our congratulations as well. Fantastic game by Hikaru as we get ready for the playoffs. And who will meet?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome, Hikaru. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good day.
A good day indeed. We did just see your interview on the official broadcast, but still, let me ask you, how does it feel to be through to the final of the Champions bracket?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it feels great. After messing up a game that I probably should have won yesterday, to sort of come out today and play what I thought was more or less a good game from start to finish, it's good. And obviously avoiding tie breaks is nice as well, because, a lot less drama and stress.
For sure. Well, we'll bring up the game. We still have the game up. Can I start by asking you about move one? I was actually completely wrong. I was expecting a quiet game where you wouldn't be taking too much risk as black, but you played 1c5. clearly wanting to press with the black pieces.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, you know, as I said in my recap, which is uploading right now to YouTube, I mean, at some point, it's kind of you want to have fun and play for the love of the game rather than just playing for boring draws. So I felt like a good time to try it. You know, it's something that I had actually had ready for the first round match, but I didn't get a chance to use it, so I thought, why not? And it seemed to work out. It was definitely a surprise. And it's also something where I think if your opponent doesn't try to punish you right away, or if they don't even know how they're supposed to punish you, I think it should be completely fine. And Dominguez, I mean, in the opening, he had this move G4 instead of G3, which is a very interesting move. But again, if you don't know that it's like a good move and you do it and it doesn't work out, it's like creating Swiss cheese on F4 and H4, these huge weaknesses potentially. If you don't know that it's a good move, it's very hard to play. And obviously, if you do it and it doesn't work out, you look like a total idiot. So I wasn't surprised that he didn't play G4, but you know, at the end of the day, I got what I wanted, and yeah, it seemed pretty good.
How deep was your preparation, Hikaru? Like, you got such a massive time advantage in the opening. Where did your preparation end? Can you even reveal that kind of info?
I mean, I had looked at a few moves beyond G3, but you know, for the most part, I was just playing quickly because I didn't really have many options. I thought what I did. I mean, the only real question I had early was whether to put the bishop on G7 or H6. That was like the big question at the start. But again, I mean, H6 just seemed better than G7, so it made more sense. So intuitively, I just played it. It's not like it was prep or anything, but I just played it because it looked like the right move. And why not? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You make a mistake, you lose the game. Big deal. That's life.
We wanted to ask, what if we just, sorry, Ludwig, just to rewind one move when you played knight F6. We were wondering, is that prep? You played it quite quickly. We were wondering, is that prep or was it a semi-bluff?
I mean, well, what am I supposed to do? If I mean, I don't have time to go F5 or H5, so it's either knight F6 or bishop H6 is the way I felt. Again, yeah, in the old days, I probably would have thought for 10 minutes because I'm afraid that I'll play the wrong move, get a worse position, and maybe lose. But nowadays, I just don't care. So I just played what I thought made sense quickly, and why not? Again, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, you lose the game, big deal.
Do you think opening preparation is especially important in this tournament where you're not getting an additional 30 minutes after 40 moves?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if Dominguez would have saved this game if there was a second time control. I think that's sort of up for debate, but I think he would have had much better chances if there was a second control. So I think the fact that I surprised him so early in the opening, he got down on the clock, just like yesterday, actually. It definitely didn't help. So I think it matters, but also you have to pick the right surprise. Because I suspect if I had done this against someone like Fabiano, it wouldn't have been a surprise, and I might have gotten blown away. So it's all relative. You have to pick and choose where it's going to work and where it's not going to work. And I seem to have gambled in the right situation.
It feels
both.
Like... Sorry,
but both here and against Sam Sevian also, you got a massive time advantage. In fact, I feel like in every single game you've played so far in this tournament, you're playing confidently and quickly in the opening. I guess it's kind of the same question I had earlier, but is that a part of your success, and is that a strategy you're utilizing?
I mean, it's definitely not a strategy that I'm utilizing, but again, like I'm trying not to be repetitive here with what I say, but when you don't really care and you're just having fun, it's always easy. It's easy to just play quickly because I'm not worried about making a blunder and losing the game. And then, of course, the flip side of it is that when there were some very critical moments, I did actually use the time advantage that I had built up. But definitely, it's just a matter of why not move quickly? There isn't much to think about. I mean, it's like there are a couple of moves for most, pretty much I would say up until pretty deep in the game, around the time of like when I played knight to D4, I think it was after bishop H3. Every situation there were 2 or 3 moves. That's all there were. So might as well calculate, spend 5-6 minutes and just make a move. I mean, what's the point in spending more time and overthinking things?
You mentioned the game. It felt like Leinier actually, despite how low he was getting on time, played quite well for a while. Where did you feel the tipping point was where you took over?
So actually, no, to backtrack just a second, there was one tournament I played many, many moons ago, which had the same control of 90 plus 30. It was in San Sebastian in Spain. There was this round robin tournament in July of 2009, I believe it was. And it was also 90 plus 30, no second time control. And I remember in that first round game of that tournament, I was playing against a certain former world champion, Anatoly Karpov. And I also got this like massive time edge. I think it was up like 40 minutes. I had this pretty good position. A Queen's Gambit declined. It wasn't winning, but Karpov then proceeded to basically defend, like just played literally every perfect move in the end game until I got lucky and he flagged. But by the time he flagged, he'd already equalized. It should have been a draw. So having had an experience like that, I mean, it definitely helps for games like this where you kind of don't expect your opponents to necessarily blunder. But I was impressed because I felt like Dominguez was going to blunder, and then he kept finding moves to keep the game going. And so somewhere around when I went knight c2, I thought that maybe not knight c2, when I got rook b3 and he blundered this, he blundered with bishop c1, rook b3 and played queen e4. I thought I was just going to win this game like in the next like 5 moves. So I thought takes, knight f6 or f5, like he's going to lose some pawns or the knights are going to start jumping. But then he played really, really well and he kept finding moves. I mean, this whole queen d8, queen a5 even, I think you guys could probably tell on the camera, but I was kind of annoyed because I thought that I had the game basically wrapped up. And he just, he kept finding good moves. Apparently I missed a win a little bit later on, but I thought what I did was pretty practical for the most part.
I mean, it's hard to disagree with a guy who sacrificed the rook.
Although apparently I had this rook takes e3 like 10 moves earlier, which apparently is winning. But I mean, it's kind of hard to play. Yeah, e4, queen takes b5. Yeah, apparently rook takes e3 wins. But again, I mean, this is like, if I'm wrong here and it doesn't win, I'm also just going to lose because it's such a simplified position that white can make a lot of quick moves. But after takes a knight h6 and with the knights jumping, it's obviously winning. But at the end of the day, it's like if it doesn't work, I'm going to feel like an idiot. So probably I should have calculated, but that's life.
How do you get the right balance between you see Leinier is low on the clock, between using your own time and wanting to not give him the opportunity to use your thinking time?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, after that experience playing Karpov all those years ago, where he just found every best move nonstop for 20 moves. I mean, you expect players of this level to defend really, really well. So like it's a tricky balance. And also, I mean, I remember there was a game that was played in one of these tournaments in Russia between, I think, Shakhtar Mamedyarov and of course Gata Kamsky, where I think Kamsky got really low on time to like maybe 30 seconds and needing to make like 20 moves or something. But then Kamsky basically made every right move and Mamedyarov threw away the advantage, went on to just lose the game. So, based on experience and also seeing games like that, I mean, you do expect players to find the best moves. And I think for me, because of the time advantage, I just made sure to use that time because once you have that extra time at such a critical moment, you don't want to throw it away. And also for me, considering that I should have won this game yesterday, which I completely threw it away for no reason, I was trying to be extra careful.
Interesting. Well, tomorrow you will be playing either Fabiano or Wesley. They are playing a playoff right now. Will you be watching that?
No, I mean, I'll just go eat dinner and just keep living my life. I assume I'll have to play one of them, but I'll deal with that probably in like 4 or 5 hours. And yeah, well, I'll figure it out.
Fantastic. Well, I don't know, John Ludwig, if you have any final questions.
I'm all out of questions. I just want to say congratulations, Hikaru. Winning with the black pieces at this level, that is no easy feat.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's not easy to win games at this level, period. But my only hope coming into this was to try and not lose rating points. I had no other expectations, so it's been a pretty pleasant surprise that I seem capable of playing good chess still.
Yeah, I see in the chat is asking about the recap. Maybe they just joined, but you mentioned at the start of the interview that it's already uploading, so it should be out any second.
It'll be up in probably like 10 or 15 minutes. So
fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, for everyone in chat who's saying that I'm trolling, I'm not really actually trolling. I mean, I came into this event just wanting to play good chess, and that's the extent of my expectations. I don't have like some, I'm not thinking about winning the event. I'm just trying to play good chess, play interesting chess, and that's all that I'm actually thinking about. Which probably is why I'm doing so well. But yeah, that's just life. Maybe I'll write a book about this one day.
Hikaru, I know you're going to head off and have dinner. Maybe we can just pull up the first game between Fabi and Wesley for 1 second and get your thoughts on game one before we let you go.
Okay, so this is what a typical Gucci piano it looks like, except somehow Fabiano has a weakness on A6 for no reason. Actually, it's very rare for me to see Fabiano in such a situation because I feel like generally, I mean, he does lose games here or there, but it seems very rarely he ends up in a situation where he's just like doing really badly from a positional standpoint so early. So, I mean, the knight on C4 is really good. I mean, I'd much prefer to be Wesley here. That being said, of course, Wesley's better, but he has to prove it. And in a rapid game, that can be kind of dicey because, I mean, because for Fabiano, every move he plays here is just going to be a reaction to whatever Wesley does. Like when Wesley stacked the rooks on the A file, Fabiano just responds and defends the pawn. So Wesley has to come up with a plan, whereas Fabiano just reacts to it. So from that standpoint, based on the fact that it's a rapid game, it will be easier for Fabiano to play. Whether he can save the game remains to be seen. But that is the one saving grace for him is that he should be able to just react to everything Wesley does. But Wesley definitely is much better here.
Hey, well, looking good for Wesley. I don't know if you want to stick around or if you want to go and have dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going. But I mean, I hope that everybody's just enjoying the chess. I mean, soon enough I'll be back to my real job. But it's been fun so far, and just a couple more days of this.
Fantastic. Well, Hikaru, congrats once again. Best of luck for tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll catch you soon.
All right. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Those were the words of a player just winning with the black pieces, taking down Leinier Dominguez, qualifying to the winners bracket of this American Cup. And if he doesn't want to talk about it, I will. Hikaru has cemented his position as number 5 in the world.